What is up? Need for Speed Racers. It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. It's billion-dollar builds. Audi's dropped today. I've got all of them built out, but we're going to start with the R8 because it is the best grip car in the game for S-Class. I usually don't go and just tout, hey, this is the most meta thing you can drive. This is insane. This car is going to break all of the records once we start getting used to it and we really go chasing stuff. It launches incredible. It has got grip turns in ways that no other car handles. Volume 6, they changed the way these Audis perform. The way that they initiate their drifts, the way that they do the grip turns, like the cars are just different. It's kind of like the hero cars were, how they just had different handling characteristics, but the Audis are just on this whole other playground. The R8 is the one to have. It's insane. We've just been laughing all day long when we got this thing. We were tuning it up. So let's dig into it. I've got a couple of builds. I've got a couple of engines to show you. It starts at A+ class, so we only have 3 classes we got to worry about. I've got some off-road for you, so let's just get into it. Shout out to Seike, Siwoo, Slide QT, Nil Kappa. We were all in the lab just grinding on this stuff, figuring it out, and there's a lot to unpack with these cars, and it's really insane the way that they perform. It's like nothing else. So grind hard for this car and get it unlocked ASAP. Throw these builds on it and just never look back. If you're a grip racer, this is home. Alright, performance on the faster of the 2 engine builds that I'm going to show you here. So the first one that we're going to work with, which is the all-arounder, it's the one that you're going to want to start with and use as a baseline and then kind of work your way around it, is the 3rd engine over. It is the Silver Pro 707 brake horsepower 6.2 liter V8. It goes up a bit from there. It has a lot of potential, but that's what we start with. You're going to go Elite Platinum Induction, Super Gold ECU, Silver Pro Fuel System, and Silver Pro Exhaust. We mate that up to an Elite Platinum Sentry. The Sentry is used specifically for this car because it already has very good acceleration and handling. It's all-wheel drive. It's insane. The Sentry allows us to get a little bit higher top speed for the way the car is currently geared, and we need that because in S-Class you want to be chasing about 200 miles an hour. It says it does 193, but with Redline Tech we can get it up to about 199, so it slides right in there. And God, with the way this thing handles, I mean, we are just a few seconds off a world record pace with it, and we haven't had even a full day to practice, so this is going to be a really good car to have. Sport Bronze Nitrous as we do, Elite Platinum Road Suspension, it comes with gold brakes, so that's tight, and Elite Platinum Grip Tires. It comes stock with an Elite Platinum clutch, so you automatic players are in luck because we do run the Elite Platinum 8-speed transmission in this setup. We're chasing top speed. I've got a 170 build that has over 1,000 horsepower. It's insane, but it's a short track build only. This is where it's at. This is the sweet spot, having a little bit more top speed in it. I throw the Elite Platinum diff in it because we got $1 billion. I do what I want, but for you guys, you might just throw the Sport Bronze in it. You don't need a lot of the differential for the handling. Slider. Auxiliaries, they didn't fix it. Don't worry about it, boys. They don't care about it. They don't know it exists. They don't watch anything that matters or listen to any of the community. But there's a lot of other good things with Volume 6, but auxiliaries are still busted, boys, so just equip them if you want them, but only if you're going to re-equip them before you go race every time. Handling, super unique on these ones. We started out chasing 100% grip on that handling slider. The car didn't micro drift like we wanted it to. We weren't able to build our yellow bar. We weren't able to keep it down the straightaways. It was a lot different. As we started backing that down, we found that we were able to use the car more predictably. We were getting crazy turns, and at the end of the day, 65, 70, 75 is kind of that sweet spot where myself, Seike, Siwoo, Slide, like all the guys that were testing this car, we found that we liked it up there. Slide QT likes it on the drifty end of things, but if you're a grip racer, this is kind of that sweet spot. Steering sensitivity, you do you, doesn't matter. Downforce all the way high, that's how we keep it in the class. So you're 65% grip and all the way high on your downforce. Traction control off, drift entry, brake tap, you do you, Pikachu. It says 193 for the top speed, Redline Tech, it'll do about 199. 934 on the horsepower and 813 on your foot-pounds of torque. Not Newton meters, foot-pounds. Please, for the love of God, don't send me a message and say you have a better build and it's lesser because you don't have freedom units. It's all good. Let me show you the other car with the other engine and we will get right. The other engine that we're building on in S-Class is the first engine over. It's the 4.9 liter V8. I want to make something abundantly clear here. You can do a very similar build to this with the 6.2 liter V8. The reason we are using this engine for this style of build, because we are now using the screw, is because this one does 3 miles an hour faster. So you can build it with the 6.2 liter, you can put the screw in it, everything's cool, but it only does 187. This one will do 190. With Redline Tech, this will do about 195, 196. And the other one with Redline Tech was only about good for 192. So in S-Class, those few mile an hour can be the difference between getting walked or walking away from somebody. And so we opted for a little less power and build it this way than to go in the other engine. So that's why I'm here. I just want to make that clear because somebody else is going to build that and they're going to think they're original. They're not. We already tested it and we decided that this was better for everybody. So you guys do you. You're in the right spot. We are running Elite Platinum Induction. It is Super Gold ECU. It is Silver Pro Fuse System and Bronze Exhaust. We do run the Elite Platinum Screw Supercharger to get the most torquey boys out of it. And then it is the Bronze Bottle of NOS. Same chassis, Elite Platinum Road, Gold, and then Elite Platinum Grip tires. Comes stock with that good clutch, and then run that 8-speed transmission so you can get the most top speed out of it. There's a way to do a scuffed like 170 short track build in this car by just adding more power and tearing down the transmission, but it was so specific it'd be like a blue collar lakeside kind of thing, and we just didn't go with that. So it can be done if you want to play with that. Just tear down the transmission, just throw more power in it, you'll find it real quick. Elite Platinum differential as I do. But guys, you can get Sport Bronze. It doesn't matter. Like, we're right in the sweet spot for the handling slider. You can probably get away with nothing. Speaking of nothing, they didn't fix the auxiliaries because that's what we do out here. Why fix things that are broke? We'll just add more stuff. Mind you, they added more tracks. I'm happy. I'm cool. There's a lot of good things. Try not to be negative, but like, I'm going to go unhinged in the deep dive patch notes video. So catch me on that one. That's going to be coming out in a day or two. All right, 70% grip on this one, you guys. We couldn't go any higher and keep it with this amount of horsepower, so 70% is the sweet spot. But this car is super, super specific that you can actually be in a happy place with a little less grip. It grips harder than any other car we've ever driven. This is like a really special snowflake, you guys. Just wait until you get in it. Downforce all the way high. Traction control is off. Drift entry is brake tap. That is going to be 2 of the road racing builds. They're both pretty good. Like I say, I think they're going to probably break most of the records that we have in S-Class. The F40 is going to be out, and this is going to be in for sure. It's just a matter of time before we get those times locked in because it's such a different beast. 873 on the horsepower, 788 on the torque with this one. Like I say, it'll do about 194, 195 with Redline Tech, and it's really pretty strong in S-Class. We can't let the drifters have all the fun, so I've got a Slide QT build for you with a little bit of a Cornnut twist. Originally, he's been running this one. He's setting some crazy lap times, getting like omega close to the records, and we've only had the car a day. But I tweaked it. He was using a gold screw to get maximum horsepower and as close to it as you could, and still use the screw. I went to an Elite Platinum Roots, got a little more horsepower, and at the end of the day, it's probably just a little marginally better. So we're improving on stuff. So let me bring it to you. The engine is the 4.9 liter V8, 290 brake horsepower, first engine over. 883 is what we're going to take it up to on the horsepower. For the parts, it's Elite Platinum Induction, Sport Bronze ECU, Gold Fuel System, and Elite Platinum Exhaust. Elite Platinum Roots Supercharger. We could not get the screw to fit, so we're running the Roots. Definitely not too bad. It'll be fine for you guys. Bronze Nitrous, and then it's Elite Platinum Road Suspension, Gold Brakes, and then Elite Platinum Drift Tires, so that way you can slide. It keeps that awesome clutch because you can't have anything else, and then you guys are running the Elite Platinum 8-speed transmission. And then Elite Platinum differential. You need it in this build because you're running the slider all the way to the right, and auxiliaries are still broke. Alright, slide that slider all the way to the right. 40% drift on this one. That's how you're going to set it up. That's the maximum drift you can get out of this chassis. Steering sensitivity, you do you, Pikachu. Downforce, slide it to the left 1. You can go to the right and take it down to 328, but there's nothing you can do with that extra point. But this car is kind of downforce sensitive, so if you can get less downforce out of it, that's better. And in this case, I think you guys will be very happy with the setup that you get out of this. Traction control off, drift entry, brake tap. That is the S-Class Driftium edition. 191 for the top speed. That's why we're using this engine and not the 6.2 liter. Just has about 3 mile an hour better top end. 883 on the horsepower and 796 for the torque. It's a banger. It's also very, very fast for the drifters. I think you guys are going to love it. So if you slide or if you gripium, both of them are going to get you around the track. This car is super cracked. It is absolutely the meta when it comes to S-Class right now. Everybody's going to be driving it. When you see this car, they're either driving it because it's new or they're driving it because they know what they've got. It's insane. Let me show you the off-road setup. All right, you scuffed crazy men out there, maybe a lady. This is the off-road setup. It is track specific. Go nuts on lakeside. Enjoy your life. It's going to be insane. And you can go 100% grip should you choose. Honestly, try it. 100% grip in this car is unreasonable. And then that much grip in the dirt is like, you're probably going to want to turn down the grip a little bit, to be honest. But try it and see what you think. Let's get into it. Engine, we're using the 6.2 liter V8. Like I said, this one packs the most punch for the power, and that's why we're using it. For the parts, it's Elite Platinum induction. It is Super Gold ECU, Super Gold fuel system, and then Elite Platinum exhaust. Elite Platinum roots supercharger, basic bronze nitrous, and it is Elite Platinum off-road suspension, stock brakes, and Elite Platinum off-road tires. Keep the good clutch, but we're scaling down 6-speed Silver Pro transmission. That allowed us to cram a lot more horsepower in it. The only tracks where you would run actual off-road in S-Class is short tracks, so this is the happy place for it. It does pretty good, and with Redline Tech, it'll do about $180, so it's a pretty good off-road car. And then Elite Platinum diff if you want to go nuts and get full Papega, get all the grip out of it. Auxiliaries, they don't work. We don't care. Well, we care. They don't care. Handling, slide the slider all the way to the left, full Beyonce, 100% grip. And then back that off when you see how insane it is. Steering sensitivity, 2 clicks high, downforce all the way high. You cannot do anything else other than all the way high. So full left, full right on the sliders makes this car insane in the dirt. Traction control off, drift entry is brake tap. This thing is borderline undrivable with the way it handles. Just wait till you guys get this car and actually build it. It's gonna drive you nuts. It's freaking nuts. And we're going to be running on stream with it for like the next 3 days, so just come and check us out. All right, 1042 on the horsepower, 929 on the torque. This car is crazy. The stats are a little deceptive because how it actually handles is really unreasonable. That's the S-Class fully built out. We've got drift, we've got off-road, we've got a couple of grip builds, different engines, really just trying to touch on everything for you guys, so I'm very thorough. So you've got what you need to make sure that you're driving the best that you can. A+ is okay. It's not nearly as fun at A+ as it is at S, but let me show you what we've got there. Oh boy, do I have some cheese for you! It's A+, 769, nice on the horsepower, 677 on the torque, because it does 135. With some Redline Tech, it'll do better than that. Maybe about 142. Regardless, you shouldn't build this, but because someone else will come along and say they've got a cheese build, I want to show you that we've already discovered it, and we've got it built with a screw, a roots, a turbo, a twin turbo, with a couple different engines. But at the end of the day, this was biggest numbers, more better, actually has the best Redline Tech. So here we go. 4.9 liter V8, let's go. First engine over, we go crazy on the power. Parts, it's gold, iron basic, bronze, and then Elite Platinum Sentry. You can do this with the roots, but you don't get quite as much horsepower, and it only did 131 instead of 135. So if we're cheesing it anyway and we've got way too much power, little bit better top speed at the cheese level is better. Bronze, nitrous, and then it's Elite Platinum road suspension, Elite Platinum grip tires, amazing clutch, and then you're gonna run the Silver Pro 6-speed transmission. You're gonna want to maybe run a diff if you want. We're bougie, $1 billion. I'll buy whatever I want, but you guys can get away with iron basic if you want. Honestly, don't build this. This is silly. There's like Drifter's Delight, you would drive this on. I can think of like maybe one other track where this might possibly be viable, but for the most part it's just a meme to have in the garage. But we're out here, we've got it for you. Handling, slide the slider, 65% grip, that's going to where you want to put it. You can do less, but you cannot do more. Steering sensitivity, whatever. Downforce, one click to the right, that is A269. You can take a little bit out of it and gain another point, but there's nowhere to put that point. Just a bronze bottle of NOS will cost you like 6 points. So at the end of the day, just go as low on the downforce as you can, because it gets you a little easier on the acceleration side of things. This is a meme. You're not going to build this, but it's here in case you wanted that information, because it's wild and we experiment and we're having fun over here on the Cornnut crew. Traction control off, drift entry, brake tap. It's a meme. Go have fun, boys. Yeah, it's insane. It's whatever. Let me show you a real A+ class build. Hold on. Hold that thought, Tomato. The actual A+ build is this. We're using this second engine over. It's the 4.0 liter V8. The reason we're going with that engine is not because it creates more power, but because it actually gives us a half-ass decent top speed for A+. It'll do 165 with Redline Tech. You're pushing 170. Both of these engines take us, to the bottom. It would be lower than A because of their top speed. But when we look at them with more parts and you get above that 130 mark, it puts it right into S. Or it does the opposite of that. You put a transmission in there and it takes it to the top of S because you've got so much power. So under the circumstances, we're kind of pigeonholed into this. We could use the 4.5 liter V8, which does 175, but we're trading almost 50 horsepower. So the 4.0 liter V8's that sweet spot. We tested all these things. We spent way too many hours today as a group working on this. I think I own 2 Audis. Nil owns 4. We've got this car so many different ways because we were just testing the crap out of it. So anyway, A+, 4.0 liter V8, you'll be fine. It's bronze, 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 gold exhaust, and then Elite Platinum Roots supercharger, bronze NOS, Elite Platinum road suspension, gold brakes, and then Elite Platinum grip tires. You can run road tires if you want, you guys. This is something some of the guys were talking about. The road tires in A+ class, a little bit easier to micro drift. That's a preference thing. Try it. You guys do you on that. At the end of the day, you've got a lot of grip with this one. You can go all the way 100% on the slider. So play with the tires a little bit, play with the downforce slider and the handling and stuff. You can experiment with this one the most because you've got the most ability to play with those and it doesn't take it out of the class. So do that. We are running the Pro Silver 6-speed transmission in this one. And then Elite Platinum differential. Go ahead and throw that in there so that way you can slide it all over the place and figure out what's up. Handling, slide it all the way to the left. Full Beyonce as we do. Steering sensitivity 2 clicks high. That's what I like. Downforce, you can go all the way high. Back it off 2. That's A269. You can go higher, but you cannot go lower. At the end of the day, guys, this one, it's not nearly as competitive at A+ as it is in S. And I'm going to drop the rest of the Audis in the coming days, but I wanted to get this one to you first. First on the scene, best builds in the game. We do more testing than anyone because we've got more people working on these cars than any other team does. Because the Cornnut crew is not me, it is we. We roll deep, we have the fastest racers in the game, and so when we get together and we test stuff, you're getting the very best results out of any other channel. Guaranteed. And if you don't think that's true, I'll race them and we'll prove it. Alright, let me show you what we've got for S+. All you guys care about is more fastest, most better, whatever. High numbers, more faster, it's better. It's really not that big of a deal. It's not that good in S+, so don't get it wrong, but I'll show it to you. Here's the game, boys. I built every engine out, so let me show you what they got on it. It's all Elite Platinum, everything tuned up to the hilt with grip tires, and then I put a screw in every single one of the engines to give it maximum performance so we can get an idea of which engine is the best. Going through them all, the best engine is by far and away the 6.2 liter V8. The rest of them just have less power all the way around. That being said, the 6.2 liter V8 does 229-ish, maybe. It takes a while to get there. It gets walked by the real cars. But that being said, it's a little slower than some of the other engines, so by about 5 miles an hour. So if you decided you wanted to go with one of the other ones for a higher top speed, you're trading hundreds of horsepower and hundreds of foot-pounds of torque. So if you're going to build it into S-Class, buy the 6.2 liter V8, go to town. It's Elite Platinum, all of it. Throw the screw in there. There's no advantage to running any of the other forced inductions. Mind you, the Sentry gets you more overall, but good luck with that. It's still not a Regera. Single turbo, you get more horsepower, but you're sacrificing torque a little bit, and it says it's a little faster. I'm not sure, guys. I think that if you're going to build into S+, plan for the low end, plan for the screw, and just go to work. But you guys do you. Honestly, you just care what motor it is because you're buying the best parts anyway. That's the 6.2 liter V8. Thank God you don't have to buy some other engine if you want to test it at S+. I will say, this car is nuts. It is, everybody says it's cracked. Any of the guys that are actually fast in the game, that have set world records, that are like pushing the limits of the game, are like, this car is cracked. Like, when this video goes out and everybody sees how good this car is, it's literally going to ruin everything. And just drive it. I can't praise this thing enough. It's really insane. This car is the only car that I've played with that I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to get a nerf. So play it with it before they nerf it so you can remember the OG Audi. Alright guys, that's a video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. These builds are brought to you by viewers like you for watching the video because it helps me get ad revenue. I appreciate that. And my Patreons and guys that give memberships and people that do super thanks. All that stuff adds up, you guys, and it helps me continue to push this and spend more time with you doing these things than grinding away at my day job. So I really appreciate it, and I'm thankful. Shout out to No Kappa for getting in the lab again, helping me out with these builds, and the other boys, Team Copium, that's Slide, QT, Seike, Siwoo, and Hex, and myself, and No Kappa. We're all part of that team. We work together as a team, and we really find the very best ways to crack these cars so that way you guys don't have to worry about developing it. You just got to drive it. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. See you next time. Bye-bye.